ARM, Amazon, Visa. Next week, 28% of the QQQ, so I guess 28 holding 28 stocks, and then 33% of the S&P 500. So, gonna be a busy week. 38% of the holdings of the weight, rather 38% of the weight for both Nasdaq and S&P. Let's see here. Moving on, Bean Man has shared with us the SMCI August 15th 64 call. So we have relatively low open interest. 4,000 volume, 1,000 open interest. What does the tape look like? You might need to zoom out a little bit further by just upping the premium slightly. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely opening trades. I'd lean buy. You should see open interest go to like what, 4,500, 5,000 tomorrow. Today's Thursday, so I'll keep an eye on that one. Moving on. We got the, what is it? The POR 35p September. So this one looks like it's from yesterday. So we got big openers yesterday. This is one where you probably don't really need to look at the change. Like you don't need to wait for the open interest to confirm it. Like, it's just 10,000 contracts traded. And here's the open interest change. What is this guy? This one also has earnings, so watch out. Portland General Electric. Yeah, I mean, let's see if we can. Does the tape lean one way or the other? Probably biased to open. IV's going up, spot's going up. So just because it's a buy to open before earnings doesn't mean someone knows, right? So just take it with a grain of salt. Maybe sprinkle a little POR if you're feeling a little ballsy, but never go too crazy on earnings. Let's see, moving on. Jurassic Zombie is sharing the weekly Intel calls. Intel is reporting earnings tonight. Intel weekly 24.5. Here we go. Intel 24.5. So we got these candles right here. Not clearly opening activity. Unless there's some float. Like if I zoom out, do we see any other candles? No. So this is it. By the time you check, you can't really wait for open interest because by the time you do, it'll already have reported. So kind of unsure on this one. The only other Intel flow I was tracking was this two-legger. So someone traded the August 23.5 strike calls at the same time as the 23.5 strike puts. So here was their initial trade on June 21st. There was additional volume July 21st. There was additional volume July 23rd here and here that resulted in an increase in open interest on both. Now, I guess it's a little bit not great that these were at the bid. So, I mean, the possibility was always there that these were short call long puts to begin with. Obviously, there's no context clues here, right? We just see a call at the ask. You see a put at the bid. Like, what other conclusion is there to come to? Obviously, it still has to report earnings, so anything can happen between now and then. But, yeah, I guess we'll see. If you went short the calls here and here, and you went long the puts here and here, you're obviously doing better than if you had done the opposite. So, who knows? Speaking of Intel, let's take a look at the historical earnings reactions. So this is Intel in the last 12 months. Kind of a mixed bag, but I mean, I guess you could say in the last six earnings, if you went short, like a call credit spread, like out of the expected range, not the worst play. Expected move today is 6.2%, which is kind of just eyeballing it. It's kind of average. Let's see here. Next, Theo has shared the Galaxy. The Galaxy March, excuse me, March 47.5. Is that correct? What did I do wrong? Is that the one? Is that you? Is that you? All right. Anyways, you trolling me, sir? All right. Moving on. Next one. Okay. Well, actually, let's stay with for a second here. Galaxy. Yesterday we had the Galaxy 3288 calls, some decent volume, decent change in open interest. Yesterday also the 35 August 22 here, as seen on the net premium chart, like right around here. Also at this pretty much the same exact time, the 35 strike August 29 right here. Like I said, same time, so it's like kind of just in this general time frame on the net premium chart. Today, the 30 call expiring in June of next year, that was responsible for this just shoot up, is from this guy right here. There was this guy who sold too early. So here he is opening contracts up. They close here, move higher here. But it is what it is. Sometimes it happens. Let's see. Ilmar is sharing. Is this your first ticker request? I can't recall you sharing another one. Let's see here. Tesla, September 285 put. 285. So some volume today for sure. One of the gripes that I have about this flow is that there's less volume than open interest. So when you can't clearly tell it's an opener, it's really just best to stay away, because we're already guessing if the contracts are bought or sold. You know, like we shouldn't also be guessing if they're being opened or closed too. You know, like let's just flip one coin. Let's not flip two coins and have to get both right. You know what I mean? That's like the best way I think I can put the logic behind picking flows. Let's see here. Next, we got someone on the YouTube chat has said, did a bearish call spread did a bearish 1017 spread for FCX just come in? Let's take a look. FCX, I can immediately see some big thing going on here. Similar size, stands out immediately. You can tell that they're being opened, most likely given the low open interest. High multi-leg activity right here. So like these two are probably linked. If I click these two and add them to my thing, I bet the candles took place at the same exact time. Lo and behold, they do. So we have a two-legger. It's a two-leg trade. Put filling closer to the ask, widespread, but closer to the ask. Again, a widespread, but this time on the bid. So it could be, at face value, just as I see it here, it looks like the long put short call combo. And if you were to open this trade, well, you probably shouldn't, because there's theoretically unlimited risk unless you have some FCX shares. But let's just pretend like you're a big institution, right? And this is exactly the trade that you're putting on. If you're putting this trade on, you actually collect a bit of credit to put it on. Because if you write the 48 call, you get 171, and then you're paying $1 to open the 40 put. But if you get 171 and then you pay one, you still have 71 left over. So in theory, could be collecting some credit here. Not earnings. This is like, it could be some kind of tariff play. Didn't the FCX CEO say something like yesterday or some shit? Today? I don't remember. Recently. But yeah. Person who shared that on YouTube, that is that's definitely an opener right there on both sides. Let's see here, we got Mr. Amtrak sharing the sweet green 815 11.5. That seems like it's a little bit in the money. SG 815 11.5. Nothing there. Did I read that right? I read it right, but that's not the one. Did you mean the 15.5? I see it has high multi-leg. What could it be multi-legged with? What could it be? Is it a roll of some sort? Let's take a look. Could be, it could be multi-leg with stock too. Oh, I think it is. Let's take a look. Was this the one? Yeah, it's multi-leg with stock. So, what's going on here? So, yes, they are opening up Sweet Green 15.5 August 15 calls. Like, yes, only 37 open interest, 1600 plus volume. So, like, you see big ask side candles. So, you assume ask side opening calls. You would be correct. However, 81% of all volume is attached to options or stocks. In this case, stocks, you can see this little circular symbol means that it's a multi-leg a stocks trade. You guys are probably familiar with the, let's see, you guys are probably familiar with the multi-leg options trade symbol, which is this arrow thing. It's a very similar function. However, when you see the circle, this means that it's not multi-legged with options, but it's multi-legged with stocks. So in this case, you can sometimes see what stocks are being traded. Sometimes you can't. If they're executed on a NASDAQ-owned exchange, you'll be able to see them. So in this instance, so this is all the same trader most likely, right? And as they're filling these options, they're also filling in shares for some. So it looks like every time, maybe the size. So notice how two. So like they're not intentionally filling two at a time here. Like this is just how it's being broken down. But you see here, so two size being traded with, what's the math there? 92 shares. But you don't know if the shares are being bought or sold. So like, but now, so this one, 292. Is there some kind of like 92? It's like some kind of pattern here. Maybe that's the ratio of what they're trying to do. Again, I don't know who the trader is. But it's a little bit muddy. Maybe they're selling their shares to deleverage, but they're buying calls to stay long or something. I don't know. Who knows? But that's interesting. Moving on. We got the TNet. TNet. Where did that check? Lost it. TNet 45p. Here we go. Stands out. Small volume, small monies. Is it an earnings play? Assuming it is. Yep. So tomorrow in the pre-market. I mean, play at your own risk, I guess. Let's take a detour and just look at the Google. Just some Google calls, I guess. So the Google September 210s, briefly profitable today, high of 455. But now trading at around 3, still in the position for the most part. Possibly added. I mean, open interest increased yesterday by or open interest increased today by 13,000 because of yesterday's activity. So who knows? Position's still open here. There's plenty of other big Google calls that are open. This one you'll need to check open interest on tomorrow, because of just the nature of the volume and the open interest. So we'll check that out tomorrow. There's still a lot of big Google calls that are open, so I don't think the run is done just yet. I don't know where this one started. This one might be this one's a Pelosi trade. I want to say, I don't remember where it was. Maybe someone can just look it up. When did she buy the Google Januaries? All right, let me keep going in the chat. We got B-Man with the ACHR. September 15s. Here we go. I've seen this name a lot. I just never really looked into it. Archer Aviation. Is it like an electric vehicle floaty thingy? So, yeah, I mean, they're probably opening calls. What's going on here? So this is kind of so like this the candle's a similar size, so it could be them. This wasn't an opening trade though, I don't think, because the open interest doesn't go up by that much. So like, and this candle itself is like 3K almost. So I don't know. It's very confusing. Who knows what happened prior? Today, opening flows like most likely, but like I don't know what the hell happened here. Very confusing. Let's see. TNet just came in. TNet. I think that's the one that we just talked about. Or no, hold on. TNet 10C. Are you sure we talked about the same one? Sats. We got Sats 10. So not only the Sats Octobers that you mentioned, Sam, but also it looks like the June 2026 45 is also being opened. I'm not going to say likely being opened. It's being opened. There's zero open interest today. So let's take a look at the charts. That's not the right one. Sats. I didn't add the other one. Sats. All right. So 39. That's the one that you mentioned. What does this thing have going on? So earnings soonish. What is this thing? Okay, so satellite stuff, stats. Okay, no brainer. So were they opening? Well, I mean, they obviously were opening. Were they buying is the question. You can see this is their 2500 volume, 2500 size trade, split into two executions. You have the 9 size trade and the 2491. You add that up, 2500. Yeah, I think they're buys. It's probably buys. Like the bid ask was probably actually like 170, 190 here. The real bid ask was probably 170, 190. And they cleared that out. And that's why the next one fills at 195. What about the next one? Next one took place earlier in the day. Yeah, definitely. You'll see open interest at least 1250 tomorrow, probably, maybe 1500. Widespread here, but much closer to the ask. I don't know if this company has any catalysts or anything going on. So if you know, it's probably a name that you have to do a little bit of a side of research on. Let's see here. TNet 70. T. Dude, am I T-net? Am I fucking doing something wrong? T-net. T-N-E-T. Oh, did you say 70? Oh, okay. All right, I wasn't. I was just confused. Confused myself. Sorry. T-net 70C. Similarly sized trade. I don't know. The volume is just like too small to really. Like, I would never follow a 2K flow. Probably. Like, I don't know. Would I follow a 35K? Maybe. I don't know. YouTube, we got the CVS weekly put flows. Let's see here. CVS. You said 60 and 59. Boom, boom. 60, 59. CVS. I think I saw someone mention these. Yeah, so they got popped here. Definitely opening activity here because by the time it gets to here, daily volume is, if you look to the left of my cursor, daily volume is about 3,500. 3,500 volume into 1,300 open interests doesn't fit. So this is just clearly opening trades here. I wonder if they're buying more here or if they're selling. You'll just have to check open interest tomorrow. You might see open interest at like 3K. You might see open interest at like 5 or 6K. That'll tell you if they sold or if they added. So here, clear opener, 10,000 size, only 1,500 open interest. So like, yeah, these definitely just were standard cookie cutter flows. Let me see if they came up. I can check to see if they came up on the Discord. So if you go to the custom alert feed and then you go to the preset alerts, this is the same feed that shows up in the Discord. So if I type in, what was that ticker again? It was CVS. CVS, yeah. So like these just clearly, the characteristics were just like, yeah, this is an opening trade. So both what the 57, 235. So this is like half an hour ago. Some stragglers coming in late. But yeah, CVS was a good flow. If you saw that live, this one I know a lot of people saw. I saw people talking about this one, and it just stands out. Oh shit, yeah, it ran huge, 30 to 150. Now trading 130. Someone asked, what's an example of something I would follow? Maybe something like this. 10,000 size, clear 100% opener. 500K premium, or not 500K, 300K premium in this instance. But the total activity on the chain is over 500K. The Microsoft whales that we've been tracking, they're all just very, again, just like the clear cut. I know this is an opening trade. I can see, based on the characteristics of the contract, it's an opening trade. They're transacting a lot of money. Now, the money isn't always the key factor. A lot of people hone in on, like it's 10 million, it's 20 million. Like, yeah, obviously, like the more money it is, maybe it's more meaningful. But like, don't just fall in love with the money. Like, so I just kind of look down on the $2,000 flow, but that doesn't mean that it can't hit. I think we've seen as little as like 10,000K flow, like back when Unusual Whales kind of first started. It was like, what was the tickers? It was like Bed Bath and Beyond and like Zynga. There was like some kind of low dollar flow that ended up being pretty good. But those are kind of far and few between. You really want to stick with, I don't know, there's like a sweet spot of like, I don't know. We've seen flows, 250,000 hit, 20 million hit, everything in between. Every flow is just kind of ever so slightly different. Someone asked for FLR. Did we do that one? I don't remember. So let's see. FLR. 919, 62.5 call. So yesterday had some opening volume, just clear opener again, 3,000 volume, 9 open interest. The opener was a cross trade. So a cross trade is a flow that I would not follow, and I would not follow it because of what a cross trade fundamentally is. And what it is so like, and maybe if Nick's hanging out in the chat, if you search my Twitter for, just search like from Snorlax _UW cross trade TV show or something, and it'll come up. There's like, so basically a buyer and a seller, they get together. So okay, so if
I can just find that actually, it's in our actual article on the information website. I'll just find the link one sec.
Yeah, just link it whenever you got it. So basically, when you buy an option, like you pull up your brokers right now. I'm gonna buy an option, right? You click buy. There's no one. You're not agreeing with someone else to match up, right? Like there's just another market maker that's like, oh, this guy just put it in order. I'm gonna fill it. Boom, right? Now, as opposed to a cross trade, which Nick just dropped the link in. Feel free to click it. It's like a 1 minute, 2 minute clip from a TV show that you may or may not have seen. So in the clip, instead of someone just like going up to someone and buying something on the open market, a cross trade is when there's someone. So someone found someone else. So someone who wanted to buy 3,000 of these found someone who wanted to sell 3,000 of these, right? So there's like a willing buyer and a willing seller. They're matched. They've been paired together. It could be the same desk even that's doing this. So like it's really unclear. It's really not super meaningful, in my opinion. So check out that video clip. I'm not gonna play it now because we might get like copyright struck or something like that.
Definitely will.
Yeah, it's an HBO show. So
I guess I could turn my webcam on and talk about it, and that would be considered fair use. But let's not risk it.
So Anthony says, I always tell people if you have to sit and try to do surgery on the flow and make it look like a buy or sell, just ignore it and move on and find something better. Yeah, that's pretty good advice. You should be able to kind of tell what it is fairly. You shouldn't have to spend too much time looking at it. Like, I'm not that's not to say, just rush your reads and just like glance at a few things, but like, if I have to dissect every little inch of the tape to try to figure out, the IV go up here, did it go down here? It's just not really worth it. There's plenty of flows that are just like a little bit more easy to read. Like, just like, for example, I keep going back to the Microsoft, but that's just because it just happened to be such a clean read. Just clear openers right here, just boom, boom, boom. And there's history, right? It's not just one Microsoft whale. There's been multiple. And that's not to say, well, is that volume? Oh, it's different. Never mind. That's not to say that they're all the same person. I don't know if they are or they aren't. But it just feels like, there's more market participants in Microsoft than I've seen really in anything else, as of late, at least. Now you see some of that in other names, like I think like CoreWeave had a lot of flows maybe when it first IPO'd. I could be mistaken. Beanman asked if the TV show is Billions. It is not Billions. It is called Industry on HBO. It's pretty entertaining. I'd give it a watch. At least the first season. It's pretty good. Don't watch it with your parents or your partner, probably. Just watch it on your own. It's kind of raunchy sometimes.
Did you just kind of oust yourself a little bit?
What? Don't watch it with your parents?
No, I mean, are you getting steamy with your stonks in private?
No. It's just like an adult TV show. Let's see here. We got. Okay, so let me go back here. So someone was asking about the Microsoft. So like, let me pull up my Twitter. So like my pinned tweet, not all volume is the same. We come back to this frequently. It's because it's like a pretty good. It's just like a pretty good thing to think about, right? If you see 10,000 volume just kind of scattered out throughout the day, do you think it's more or less meaningful than a flurry of 10,000 volume, whether it's 10,000 volume in a single go or 2,000 people all buying different numbers of contracts? Just look for the clear openers, which is kind of what we try to do with the custom alerts that are being fed into the Discord. They're just How do we get there? They're just simple. They're simple filters that just look for big openers. So like, I'm looking at the Discord feed right here. So these are all the stuff that's being pushed to the live Discord channel. So like if I click on this one, so like we see big opening flows, right? Like clear openers, 4,800, 67 open interest. Now that's not to say these are necessarily being shorted, but you see mostly bid side flows, so you can think, oh, okay, maybe they're being shorted, and that maybe they are actually. I mean, you see AI has been super weak all day. They're not buying puts, right? But they're not buying calls either. They're either writing calls or they're selling the calls that they have. We're making that assumption based on the fact that the net call premium is dropping, and it drops when you get bid side activity. So it just dropped right here, and that's because of this right here. But there's other bid side calls going on here throughout the day. So someone just shouted out Mobileye. So like this is another thing that pops in the filters. It's just a very clear, in this interval. Was it an interval alert? No, this one's a hot contract alert. It did also proc an interval alert. So like in the interval alert is saying, hey, in this 5-minute interval, this Mobileye contract saw 1,400 volume. It only has 46 open interest. So like that's quite the ratio. And now once it hits, I think like 2,500 volume, maybe, I think that's when the hot contract thing kicks in. Yeah, probably 2,500 is the threshold. The ACHR, that's another one that I think someone mentioned, right? ACHR, Moo, they're all going to be generally very similar looking. And it's like a pretty good starting point to look for flows, right? Find the openers, and then you can kind of dissect a little bit more. Second, let me answer this text message real quick here.
It's one of his parents upset that he was watching that show in their living room.
Let me turn this off. All right. All right. Any more contracts in the chat? We got PDD. Someone has said PDD a little bit ago. PDD has been mentioned in the last stream. I haven't looked at PDD today. It's like it's flat. What did you mention? You mentioned the 110. 110. That's a little bit in the money, right? 110. So probably an older flow. Yeah. So we got 20,000 contracts of PDD. This is the one we mentioned this last stream as well. So we have the 20,000 contracts opened here. As you can see here, they had a pretty big drawdown. It was like 25%. And then in the moment, in the session, when you saw this 10,000 size volume at the bid, you might have thought, oh, this 20,000 size position is trimming half of their position. But no, we have open interest increase the next day, and it's just been a runaway train ever since. And I do believe we went over on the stream last time how this, it's a little bit harder to read the tape after the fact. Like, I know this contract ripped, so like in my mind, I'm looking for reasons to peg this as a buy. But in this instance, I think it probably, like, there's some evidence that suggests it was. Like, we have the same timestamp here, 9:30:01, so just like literally right as soon as the market opened, filling at 510, 510, 510, 549 here. So like probably the true bid ask was like 415, 510 if I had to guess, probably something like that. So like they were slapping the ask effectively. It just doesn't show up as at the ask. Because the bid ask is an imperfect system, unfortunately. But yeah, PDD is a good one. They're still holding 30,000 contracts. They bought the first lot at 509, next at 512, so they're up 100%. They're up 100% on 16 mil. So congratulations and fuck you. Let's see here. Intel, the weekly 23.5. Intel, the weekly 23.5. Getting hit here in number. for sure. This, if you're bullish, you want to see this probably. Earnings tonight. Like we mentioned, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, that Intel two-legger. I have no Intel position. I'm just extremely interested in the result of this specific trade, just because I'm just dying to know what it is. I really thought it was like a long call short put, but like, I don't know. We'll see. Does the new Intel CEO tweet Bible verses or not? I need to know before I go long or short. Let's see. Iova weekly 3.5. So this was probably them selling. They opened yesterday, multi-legged, so we'll have to look into that. But this is probably them selling. They 100% opened all of these, and they are likely selling it here. What did they trade yesterday with it? The 3C. So open, close, open, close. So nothing there really, probably. You're going to see the open interest on this decrease tomorrow. Let's see here. Deck earnings after hours. We got some 112C openers. Multi-legged. Did we see that? What do we have here? Oh, well, it's a 1-to-2 ratio. 2400, not 1200, but there's some other stragglers. So yeah, it's a call spread. It's a fucking wide. No, it's not a call spread. It's a calendar spread actually. So I don't know if you saw that, all that going on here. So that's a little bit more complicated than it initially looked. So watch out for that. How the ETH-A spread's doing. ETH-A single leg volume here on the 16th. This is multi-leg volume right here. It's a multi-leg with this 26C. I think, nope, not 26, 32 right here. Or no, it's not 27. What was it multi-legged with? Excuse me, we'll find out here. 32 August 15th. Right, that it is. So, oh. If I go here, no, I zoom out, I can see, yeah. So here is the single leg flow for the 27C. And then on the 17th, we have a 5,000 candle here, and then a 2,500 candle here, 5,000 here, 2,500 here. This is them opening a call spread. Did they close it here? I mean, they closed it looks like they closed the long or the short leg because open interest decreases significantly. Like, why would they do that? At a loss too. I don't know. Who knows? You know, there's all these complex strategies going on, and we can't pretend to know what they're doing ever, really. We can only kind of try to make assumptions. Let's see here. Market Guru says, what is the best thing to see for trading SPY? Any video? For trading SPY, I mean, I guess I would say the market tide is useful when you're not getting completely overshadowed by a ticker or two, in this case. Yeah, Periscope would probably be my next bet. If you want to link him a Periscope video, Nick. So we got about 17 minutes left. Let's peep the feed. You is a name that I've seen people mentioning a few times lately. Some decent volume. SMCI, did someone say this one? Someone said this one, right? At the beginning of the stream. Another hit here. Is there a catalyst for SMCI? Earnings in 12 days, so I guess that is the catalyst. Intel, what is Intel going to do? What is Intel going to do? Let me use the chat. Use the Discord bot. Implied Intel. The implied move for this week is 6.68% expected range priced in by options is currently $21.20 to $24.23. I'm reading that off on a second screen. So if you were looking for where those numbers are, they're not on the screen right now. Let's see. Jurassic says, can we check CNC? Let's see if there's anything for CNC. Big call opener. Probably that's being traded with it. Is it a call spread? Let's see. Got way too many freaking chains up in here. Yeah, it's a call spread. What is that? 5,000, 2,000, 75,000, 3,000. So it's a 1.5 or it's a 1 to 1.5 ratio. Is that net bullish, Slylust? If you're still here, I think it is, right? I don't know. That is not me, but I actually have that chain already added. Someone has asked that we look at the SPY 640 August 8th call, a bigly nearly 50,000 sized candle. It's 46,000 to round it up. However, now this one was not obvious. It's a little tricky because the 650 was traded at the same exact time. The same exact time, the same expiration, in the same exact size. However, it's tricky because it wasn't flagged as a multi-leg trade for whatever reason. So if I go, we're looking at the full tape for the 640. So the 640 had that big stuff happening at 109.02. So remember that 109.02, 109.02, 109.02, 109.02. So someone opened a big ass spread. It looks like a bull call spread just because the lower strike is at the ask and the higher strike is at the bid. But this one was tricky. This one was tricky because they weren't attached as a multi-leg trade for some reason. I don't know why. It's not a bug on our part. It's just, I don't know why. That's just how it was executed. I've seen that before. And the only reason I saw it was because I saw someone mentioning. First, I saw someone mention the 640, and then I saw someone else mention the 650. And then I looked at it, I was like, oh, wait a second. These are probably the same thing. And it 100% is the same trader. 640s. That's close. That's close. August 8th. 640s in the priced in range. I mean, we're there. We're at 640 right now. All right, we got Geo private prisons. Holy shit, this thing's $25 now? Hold up. This thing have any splits, or has it just been on a tear? I guess it just had that big bump, and then when Trump became the president, yeah, it just fucking ripped. Let's see. So we have some volume here today. We also had volume on Monday. I don't think Monday's volume is related. How much volume we have today? So this was 4,300 right here. That leaves around 40, a little hair under 42 here. So it could be the same trader. You're gonna have to wait till open interest updates tomorrow. Not an, I don't know, could be an earnings trade. It overlaps earnings. What do you think open interest is going to be tomorrow? It could be anything from, literally, it could be anything from like what, 2,000 all the way up to 8,000. Who knows? Could also be a sell, right? Maybe a sell. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Next in the chat, we got the Cisco. The Cisco Systems, 65 P, I assume, right? Just because, yeah, 65 August. That's this guy right here. Ooh, So a big stick. A big stick. Not much tape to look at, really, unfortunately. Overlaps earnings, so potentially some kind of earnings trade. Who knows? Cisco's just like done nothing, right? I think for a long time. Oh no, it's at probably all-time highs now. Kind of a hard hold though. How come I can't paste images in this chat? I don't know. Let me check the permissions. Maybe you were being a bad person and I blocked you. That's not the case. I don't know. I didn't, so I don't know. Let's see here. Was the Sarepta Therapeutics weekly 14.5? An in and out, possibly. 5 to 53, very possibly. Must have been a headline today, right? We got 10 minutes left. Someone says Elcid. Did we see any Elcid today? I don't believe so. Take a look. Does anything stand out? The only opener really is probably the Feb. Whatever strike that was, Feb. So not a whole lot going on. Trading well below normal volume, so probably not much there.
Lucid's also one of those really weird ones that, unless something's like really crazy, I kind of leave that one on an ignore list, because if you just go back to the summary page for it, look at all the open interests on like every single contract, and those have been open for ages, and it's kind of a pump and dump stock now too. So it's a dicey one.
Yep. Speaking of similar stocks, now I don't know if that's the case, but lately small caps have been retail's kind of go-to.
For real.
Someone has asked us for a look at this DDD 3.5. In addition to the DDD 3.5, they are also probably opening up the two. Now these are much smaller money, but the September 2, September 2.5, November 2, August 2.5. I believe Wall Street Jesus also gave this a tweet, so probably some additional stuff going on there. DDD. Yeah, small caps, you got to be careful because like it could be a lot of people just FOMOing. They're trying to get into the next open, the next GME, you know. Let's see. Moving on. We got the CVNA. The 3335P 88. 50% or 60% multi-legged, so we'll have to peep that. So the most recent candle was single leg? Or no? Nope. Yeah, so the most recent candle was single leg. So which chain did we were looking at? We were looking at the 335P, so it looks like a spread with the 270. Some spread action going on there. With single leg flows here. So this is spread volume, single leg. Might be not. Though the sizing might be slightly different. Because in addition to this volume here, we also have this volume. But when comparing it to this volume, it's less. So the sizing is a little bit different. So it's not like, oh yeah, it's looks like 2 for 1. 2 for 1. Must be a little 2 for 1. Next, MGM 39C, August 1st. Most likely sold. Potentially, just a slow bleed throughout the day. Let's take a look at the tape. What does the tape tell us, if anything? So we have multiple timestamps to look at. So we have, for instance, the 10/28/24. I can actually just turn on this to make it easier. So we have the 10/28/24, we have the 10/28/44, the 10/29/59, the 10/30/57. So this is likely all the same trader doing all that right here. And as you can see, they're clearing out the existing bids, just getting filled lower and lower. So they're most likely writing these up and collecting that juicy premium. So they're up about 25%-ish. Cool. Let's see here. Someone says CVV. CVVV, what is that? CVV. Not sure what that is. Someone says BLX. Is there anything for BLX? The Bank of Latin America. Nothing going on here. OPTT. The 1C August 15. The 1C August 15. So what is going on here? It's just like, I don't know. Not too interested. I mean, you can check open interest tomorrow and see what it does. If it goes up by a few thousand, you might feel good about it. I don't know. Probably not. Not much going on here. CVV.V. What is that? Let me look it up on my other screen. CVV.V. .V ticker. Can Alaska uranium? Is that what we're trying to do here? It's not on NASDAQ or NYSE exchanges, so unfortunately, nothing. We're not going to have anything for it. 3 minutes. 3 minutos. Let me just take a look at my watch list to see if anything I've been watching has been moving. Google is chilling still. I think they closed the IREN 22s today throughout the day that they opened up here. Yes, they're closing them up all day. A few big Amazon whales closing up. The not that one. The 235 October, I believe, opened here on May 1st. I believe that's them selling here. There was another Amazon. Was it this one? It was this one. Also on, no, not May 1st, May 2nd for this one. May 2nd, 652 fill, selling at 1790, so like almost 3 times. Anything else? Anything else? Are they selling anything else? The GDS is being rolled to, I forget which one it was. GDS 30C September being rolled to 37C October. Sizing up slightly. A little bit less money. I think that's about it. Leaf says, thank you for the stream. Thank you for coming out. The stream wouldn't be the stream without you guys. I think we're going to wrap it up there. We had 2 this week, so if you missed this one, or if you want to rewatch it, just check it out again on YouTube. Maybe Nick can drop the link right here. Thank you guys for showing up. We had a nice big showing. Thanks to all the boys for showing up. All right, guys, take it easy.
Real
Bye.
quick, just for those of you who have been asking, there have been a couple that I didn't even know were in the community at the time. I've gotten requests for SNL to come back, and it's just going to be different, and the timeline is like 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll get more flow reviews and shit coming your way.
Nice. All right, guys. Yeah. All right. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Later, dudes.